A while back, the power tripped while this compressor was running. Breaker pops, you flip it back, you carry on. That's the theory. But a screw compressor doesn't stop the way you'd want it to. Power dies mid-cycle, the intake valve doesn't close in time, and the back pressure shoves oil straight out of the rotor housing, into the air filter. I pulled that filter out afterwards. This is what came out of it. Oil, where oil is very much not supposed to be. And there's a sticker on the panel, right next to the emergency stop, telling you, specifically, not to kill the power on this thing while it's running. Here's the situation. The type plate says 3 kilowatts. The listing I bought it from said 3.5. Both numbers are fine. Neither one is the number that actually matters. Because as the tank fills, the motor has to fight harder and the current it pulls climbs. By the top of the cycle, the phase it's sitting on is well into the mid-20s, amps, and I've seen it spike past 27. I'm measuring the whole phase there, not just the compressor. But the breaker doesn't care which machine pulls the amps. It just trips. And I'll be straight with you. I keep buying machines my workshop can't actually run. I know where the ceiling is, I bypassed it anyway. And a screw compressor going down hard. You don't always find out right away what it cost you. So, Zendure sent over their SolarFlow 2400 AC Plus and an AB3000L battery. I didn't want to test it as a camping battery, or the thing in a cupboard for a blackout. I wanted to know if it could fix this. So how do you fix this? Option 1. Upgrade the grid connection. Around here, that's a 5-figure bill and a waiting list measured in years. For a one-man workshop, that's not a fix. That's a fantasy. Option 2. Rewire the shop for more current. Real work, real money. And it still doesn't change what the utility hands me at the meter. Option 3. The one I'd actually been doing. Just don't let the tank fill past 10 bar. Babysit it. Which works right up until the day you forget, or the power trips on its own. Which is how we got oil in the filter. But here's the reframe. I don't have a power problem. I have a peak problem. The compressor's average draw is low. It's only that short, ugly burst at the top of the fill that crosses my line. And the battery is very, very good at covering a short, ugly burst. So, the SolarFlow is AC coupled. It sits on the AC side of the shop. I'm not redesigning the electrical system. I'm not touching the meter. It plugs in and becomes part of the workshop's power. For an existing garage, that's the whole appeal. Quick break, and this one's actually on theme. This video is also sponsored by PCBWay. Custom PCBs, prototypes, CNC machining, sheet metal. You send a file, the finished part shows up. And it's on theme because, honestly, half the reason my workshop has a power problem is that I keep buying machines to make parts instead of just ordering the parts. If you'd rather skip the machine and have the finished thing show up, PCBWay will quote it. Links in the description. Right. Back to the battery. Okay. Peak shaving. The idea is simple. The compressor still pulls everything at once. I'm not making it efficient, I'm not making it ask for less. The battery just supplies the part of the spike that goes over my limit. So the grid side never sees it. The battery doesn't fix the compressor. It changes who pays for the peak. But there's a problem with that. A battery on its own is dumb. It doesn't know the compressor's about to scream. It doesn't know what my limit even is. And if it just dumps power constantly, it's empty in an hour. So it needs a brain. And the brain is the part I'm actually proud of. My workshop monitoring already runs through Homey. There's an energy dongle reporting the current on each phase, live. So the rule I wanted was, watch phase 3, and the second it climbs toward my limit, tell the Zendure system to feed in power from the battery, exactly enough to hold the grid side flat. I'm not a software guy. So I sat down with Claude for an evening and we wrote it together. A Homey script that watches the phase, does the math, and drives the battery. That little script is the difference between a battery that waits for a blackout and one that's actually doing a job. So, does it work? Here's the test. Same compressor, same tank, fill it from about 8 bar all the way to 15. The full ugly range, the part that normally crosses my line. Without the battery, the compressor's demand climbs the whole way up. By the top of the fill, it's pulling 27.5 amps. That's the number that trips the breaker. That's the number that put oil in my filter. With the automation running, watch the grid line. The compressor still climbs to 27. But the grid side holds. It sits flat, just over 17 amps, while the battery quietly stacks the rest on top. Up to 2.4 kilowatts of it. The peak still happens. The house just never sees it. Now, the honest part. There's no magic here. Conversion has losses. The inverter makes heat. You can feel it coming off the fins. The battery drains. And this is my own monitored setup. On wiring, I know. It's not a tutorial for ignoring circuit ratings. If what you actually need is a bigger electrical supply, this isn't that. But a short recurring peak is exactly the shape of problem a buffer is good at. The losses aren't the problem. The peak was the problem, and the peak is gone. Here's what it doesn't fix though. The compressor still runs. It sounds fine. But I still don't know if that first trip, the oil in the filter, did something I can't see. The filters I could replace. They came from China. The rotors, I just don't know. It works. I'm choosing to believe that means it's okay. The Zendure link, the promo, and the exact models I used are in the description. This was the SolarFlow 2400 AC Plus with the AB3000L. And they've got a wider lineup if your peak is bigger than mine. And I'll probably buy the next machine my shop can't run. At least now there's something standing between my bad habit and the breaker. What's the machine in your shop that trips yours? Tell me.